Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Carbootcrafter, and I'm coming on today because I've got a bit of a stash busting idea. So let me take you back a little bit to last summer when I won Roz's giveaway. So Roz over at Paper Crafting with Roz, I'll put a link in the description box. Do go over and have a look at her channel. But she did the challenge, and part of her giveaway, which I was lucky enough to win, was this wrap and reveal card making kit. So it made up 5 cards, and this is the very last one. All the others I've made up and given away. So I really loved this idea, and I've had so many compliments about it as well. So you slide off the belly band and then you open up the card to reveal your greetings inside. And everybody that I've given one to has really loved the idea. But as I say, that's my very last one. And I thought they can't be that difficult to make. So I've had a go this morning. I had a great morning in the craft room playing with my papers, and I've come up with this, which I think is very, very similar. A little less bling, perhaps a little less mirror card on it, but I just really liked it. So I mean, there may be loads on YouTube already about how to make these, but these are my measurements and how I've done it. But yeah, so I thought I'd come on and share with you how to make it, and I've stash busted 2 packs of 8x8s. So let me show you what you need. So first of all, you'll need a piece of 8x8 card, and this is what's left of my pack, and I'm going to use this to make a load more of those cards in readiness for sending out for birthdays. So you'll need one page of 8x8 paper, and I'm using this one. It's exactly the same as the card I made, but I might flip it over so we get the same card, different look. So you need one piece of 8x8 paper. You'll also need some bits of papers as well. So this is a strip of 8 by 1 3/4 inches, and this is a piece of 8.5 by 2 inches mirror board. It doesn't have to be mirror board, but that just so happens to be the papers and the look I'm going for. So you need that. You'll also need a square of backing paper, and again in this case I'm using mirror board, and this measures 3 3/4 squared. You'll need a white piece or a contrasting piece to write on, and this measures 3.5 inches squared, and that's for in our middle. You'll also need 2 pieces of mirror card, which are 1 3/4 squared. So you need 2 of those, and 2 pieces of paper that match your belly band strip, and this is 1.5 inch squared. You'll also need, and in this case I'm using this pack, which makes up some lovely flowers, and I've already made that up ready. So this is going to go on my belly band, and there's a couple of leaves on there which I haven't put on the flower yet, and I'll show you why when we get to it. So I'll pop those there. This is a trim craft pack that I picked up at a car boot for about 50p, I think. So by the time I've finished, I will have used up all of these, because I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon making them up. And also I'm using, you don't have to, you can use a stamp, but I'm going to use 1 or 2 of these little happy birthday toppers. So I'll pop them to one side and show you how I began. So you start with your 8x8 papers, and I'm just going to bring in that, and you'll need a pencil as well. So you start with your 8x8 and you just score on every side at 2 inches. So just going to go score and turn till you've gone all the way around. I'm just going to flip it over and score and turn again, just because I'm not quite sure off the top of my head which way these papers are going to fold backwards and forwards. So I just want to make sure I've got it all on the right score. So that's that done. That was nice and easy. So now I'm going to pop it back in my scoreboard, and I'm going to make a mark in the middle, which happens to be on this, because it's an 8 by 8 paper, at the 4-inch mark. So I'm just going to mark it. Actually, I'm going to mark it on the other side because I want to do it the other way, don't I? So I'm just going to mark it at the 4, turn, mark it at 4 again, just a very light mark. This is just a visual guide for you when you do the next stage. Mark it at 4, and I've already done that side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so there's my mark, and there's my other mark. Yeah, there's my other mark. And I'm going to line it up. So I've got a black line down the middle of my hoogie board, because this is a visual guide. And I'm going to line up that mark there at the top. Anywhere, it doesn't matter where. So I've just lined it up. So I know that that's at an angle, but that is my 4-inch mark. And I'm going to bring, this is my other 4-inch mark for this side. And I'm going to bring that down so that they're both lined up. So there's my 4-inch there. There's my 4-inch there. And I'm just going to score between the two. So that was nice and simple. And I'm going to turn and do exactly the same on this side. So lining up my 4-inch mark there, and I'm going to bring this 4-inch mark and line it up there. Double check on that, which is just skewiffed a little bit. When I'm happy, bring my score line down and turn again. So line it up there, line it up at the bottom and score. And last one, line it up and bring the bottom in, double check I'm straight, and then run a line down the middle. Okay, and now I'm just going to start folding in. So I'm going to, because I want the blue to be on the outside, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold in on the lines that go across. So fold and burnish on all 4 sides. So fold and burnish. I had such fun putting this together, really did. I'm going to have to score that again, I think. There we go. Yeah, bring that in. I did enjoy the challenge of working out the measurements and how I was going to do that this morning, and then this afternoon I'm going to just sit and make a load of these up, because they are so quick and easy, and you get such a stunning result. Okay, so that's all those 4 sides turned in. So, and that's, you fold them inwards, and this is going to be the inside. Then you're going to flip it over. So this is my outside, and you're now going to score on those diagonal lines that we scored a minute ago. So I'm just going to bring that in, bring that down, and burnish. Open up, bring that in very carefully and burnish. And again, bring that in, following that line, and burnish. And the last one, bring that in. Ooh, that's gone a little bit skewy. Hold on 1 second while I just readjust that. Don't know what went wrong there, but there we go. Bring that in, burnish that properly. There we go. That's better. That doesn't matter too much. It'll be hidden with all the other folds in a moment. So let's bring that in. I'm going to burnish this one again as well, and bring that in, fold it down and burnish it over. There we go. And then the last one we want to do, so now that we've folded those, we've got that nice square on the corner, what I want to do is line up that there with that one on my horizontal line, and make another, and I'm going to fold it over that way and make another line. So very carefully lining up my two creases on my scoreboard, just very carefully. And again, let's bring this one round, line them up and score again, and line them up and score again. And these now come in this way, like that. And then I'm going to burnish those down as well. So let's fold that in. And the nice thing about this one is that if you're watching your score lines here, as long as this doesn't go over them, then you are on the right track. So I'm going to fold that over, making sure it doesn't go over those score lines. Nearly done. Bring that in, and there we go. Right, so that's all of our folding done. Now the blue is going to go on the outside, so I'm just going to reinforce some of those folds like that. And the trick to fold is to bring the middle in and then fold this back, bring that middle in and that middle in, and there we go, and there we get our fold. So push it down, bring in your bowl folder. I quite like turning this over, and then I bring in my bone folder and I can go all the way across like that and get them all nice and crisp like that. Okay, so that is our folds done. Let's fold those back like that. Okay, so now the next thing I like to do is to do these corners. So I'm just going to bring in these squares. Right, I'm going to get my guillotine. Now what I want to do, and I could do the pair of scissors if I wanted, but I need to cut from that corner straight up to that corner. So I'm going to pop it in my guillotine. I'm going to line it up, use whatever trimmer you've got, or like I say, you can use scissors, and then you get your triangles. So I'm bringing this one in as well. There we go, hold that straight. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my patterned paper. So just pop that in, line up the points. So I've got 1 point here, 1 point there, and then straight down, and I've got my triangles. Like I say, if you're not too good with your trimmer, or you prefer, you can use a pair of scissors, or you can use a you know, whatever you've got basically to cut that straight line. Now I'm just going to grab my glue, and very simply I'm going to glue my patterned paper onto my mirror card like that. So I've used one piece of 8 by 8 to make the card base, and now I'm using one piece of patterned 8 by 8 paper to make the belly band and these triangles. Oh, that reminds me, I must do the belly band next, so that it's got plenty of time to dry before I start trying to fold it. So I'm just going to add that on there. and that gives these time to dry as well. So number 3, and you don't need a lot of glue. What you don't want is it to ooze out, because the mirror card does show up every smudge, especially when it comes to the glue. So, and you just end up with just a small little border all the way around on your mirror card. Last one. Okay, there we go, and that'll give these a minute to dry when I bring in the belly band. So I've got a piece of mirror card that's 8.5 inches by 2, and a piece of patterned paper which is 8 inches by 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4. Now this is 8 inches, this is 4 inches, so this is not going to go all the way around and join up. So I've got 1/2 inch on the mirror card. Because my flower is so big, it doesn't really matter too much, because it's going to cover the join on this belly band. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to put some glue on the patterned paper, and then I'm going to pop it in the middle of my mirror card. I want to have a nice even border either side, but my edges are going to be a little bit bigger. Normally I would have it so that these were the same width as here, but it's a little bit longer. It's about 1/4 inch either end, because I need that to be able to join the belly band together. So I'm going to pop that to one side to dry while I get on with the next bit. So I'm going to bring my card base back in, and I'm going to grab one of my triangles, and these now are going to go on those triangles on the top of the card. So just on that corner like that. There we go. And move to the next one. And the mirror board, you don't have to have the mirror board. You can use you know, a black or any other colour you want, or you could do without. You don't have to have the triangles mounted, in which case I would cut my patterned paper at 1 3/4 and just put it straight down. But I do like having the little bit of bling on there. I did think about not, but then it looks so nice on the pack that I got in the giveaway, that I thought I want to replicate that at least part of the way anyway. So last one to go on. Just going to glue that in place, and that'll take a minute to dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to bring in my 3 3/4 squared, so 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and this is 3.5 by 3.5. So I'm just going to glue that onto the mirror. And if you want to put a stamp sentiment on that, do that before you glue it on. But I'm going to use one of those circular toppers as my sentiment. So I'm just going to fix that on in the middle. So we've got 1/4 inch border all the way around like that. Well, that's just a little bit squiff there, so let me just cut that straight before it goes down. There we go, that's better. So I've got that. I'm going to use one of these now. Which one shall I use? I think I'm going to go for the happy birthday one. So I'll just pop that out. got a little bit of fine grade sandpaper just to get rid of that pip on the edges. There we go, that's got rid of those. And I'm going to glue that in the middle of the card as my sentiment rather than stamping. I'm just going to pop that in the middle so that I can write who's it's to and who it's from on the bottom. That's just, that mirror card is very curly, so it's just taking a minute. Okay, I'm going to open it up, and this then goes in the middle. You don't have to glue it down, you can leave it as it's loose if you want to. I'm going to glue mine down, but I have I think on the one that I made up from the pack, the instructions were not to glue it down, so it was loose in the middle. I suppose you could write a message on the back if you wanted, or a photograph or something like that. So there we go, pop that in, line that up so that it's got a little border all the way around the outside like that. So bring this back in. Once you've folded it a couple of times, it goes back in very, very easily. So there we go. And now, where did I put that belly band? I know I put it over here somewhere. There it is. So this is the belly band, and as you can see, the papers match there and go really well with the papers in the pack. So I'm just going to take it and score it at 4. I'm going to score it 4 inches. No, I'm not going to score it at 6 inches on the one side, just to start it off. I'm not scoring the other side because I'm not entirely sure just yet how far over it's going to be, and I will do that freehand. So fold it over, pop it onto the most difficult thing with this is holding it down while you're trying to fold everything around it. So I'm just going to fold that over, and then I'm going to bring this one over as well. So just bring it round, and it will just meet there somewhere in the middle, not quite in the middle, just to the one side. There we go. Now it's not wide enough. I could overlap it by a tiny bit, but it's not wide enough to hold it, so I'm going to be using my flower to hold it. So if I bring my flower back in, and as I said, I've already made it up, and this will go on there like that. Now you can off center it if you want to, like that. In fact, I quite like it off centered on this one. I think I'll do that on this one. The last one, it was in the middle. I'll show you it in a minute when I've finished. So I'm just going to put some glue on both sides. I'm not going to go too far. I don't want to glue to be exposed now and get myself all in a mess. So there we go, I've got some sticky on there. I'm going to bring my flower in, and I'm using liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. There we go, put that to the, in fact I'm going to bring it round a little bit like that. There we go, I quite like it like that. So I'm going to hold it like that. I'm going to bring in the leaves. Now I want to put these leaves on. You don't have to, you can leave it like that if you want, but I want to put one of the leaves on. So I'm just going to hold it steady while I put some glue on here. Now put it on the top, don't put it on the bottom, because we don't want to glue on the, we don't want to glue the belly band to the card and then not be able to open it. So I'm just going to very carefully lift that up ever so slightly, push that under. I want to keep it within the boundary of the card as well. So that's that. Now the other one I had here, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that with this one. I think I'll put this one this way. So again, I'm just going to put some glue on here. And what I'm doing is I'm gluing it to the bottom of the flower, the underside of the flower. I'm just going to lift that up. Because it's liquid glue, I've got a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of time to get things in place. So there we go. It's a little bit there. Let's just wipe that off like that. And there we have our flower. I'm going to bring in a jar and just stick it on top while I get one of my happy birthday wishes. And with this one, I think I'm going to use that one. It says happy birthday. Again, I'm going to grab my what's it called? Sandpaper. Get rid of those peeps. There then. To decide, I think I'm going to put it down here, you know. I'm going to put it there. The last one I tucked underneath, but I think I'm going to pop it under that one rather than underneath the whole of the flower. So flip that over. Put some glue on the back of this. I want to make sure it stays on the flower, not on the card base. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the centre of this and slide it under that. There we go. And there we have our second card. Let me bring in the other one that I made and show you the difference. Very, very similar, but ever so slightly different. So let me just, it's a little fiddly to get these back over, I will admit, but I hope you like them, because I think, especially with that little bit of mirror card on there, they look really, really good. That one's offset, that one's in the middle, and I just love them. So one piece of 8x8. That one's a slightly wider belly band than this one, but you know, up to you which way you want to go. So I've really enjoyed that, and all from that pack that that Roz sent me in her giveaway. It was they're such a fun pack to make up, and I thought, yes, there must be a way of doing that. And I'm sure there's probably lots and lots of internet tutorials on how to make them, but this is the way I do it. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked that. I really enjoyed making them. I'm going to be making lots more, and I'll be popping them in the post as birthday cards to people, and family and friends as well. We'll get some or as well. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you all in the next video, and maybe we'll look at some more craft busting or stash busting videos. Okay, guys, see you soon. Bye for now.